Okay, so I'm going to go over the problems for the chapters 3 and 4 quiz. So it's important to remember SOHCAHTOA, right? Figure out which trig function we use for which problem. So for this first one, it says, given that measure of angle I is 30 degrees, so this is 30 degrees, and that GI is 7, find GH and round to the nearest tenth. Okay, so GH is opposite and GI is adjacent. So that's TOA, so you want to use tan. So then it's tan of 30 equals opposite over adjacent. And then you do tan of 30 on your calculator, and you get 0.577 equals x over 7. And then you want to write that like over 1. And then cross multiply, and you'll get 7 times 0.577 equals x. And then you just want to multiply your answer on your calculator 7, not your rounded thing. And then that's x equals 4.041. And then when you round that, you only round your final answer. That's D. Okay, so for number 2, it says measure of angle L is 35 degrees, and then KJ is 18, and it says find LK. So this 18 is opposite, and X is the hypotenuse. So opposite and hypotenuse is sine. So you want to go sine of 35 equals opposite over hypotenuse. Then you do sine of 35 on your calculator, and you get 0.573. And then you write that like over 1, and then you cross multiply, and then you get 0.573x equals 18. So then x equals 18 divided by 0.573. And then you got on your calculator 18 divided by your previous answer, and you got 31.382. So that rounds to 31.4. Okay, next problem. So it says, given that BC is 8, then AC is 14, find measure of angle A. So that's theta. So then you want to go, that's opposite and hypotenuse again. So that's sine of theta equals opposite over hypotenuse. Then theta is going to equal your inverse sine of 8 over 14. So you put that in your calculator. And you get 34.849. And then it says rounded to the nearest degree. So that's 35 degrees. Okay, and then for number 4, it says DE is 11. And measure of angle D is 28. And then find DF. That's adjacent and hypotenuse. So you want to use cosine of 28 equals adjacent over hypotenuse. So cosine of 28 in your calculator, you get 0.882. and then you want to write that over 1, and then you cross multiply, and you get 0.882x equals 11. So 11x equals 11 over 0.882. And then you do 11 divided by your answer on your calculator, and you get 12.458. Rounded to the nearest tenth is A. For number 5, it says NO is 21, NM is 15. Find measure theta. So then that's cosine, it's adjacent hypotenuse, so cosine theta equals adjacent over hypotenuse, so theta equals inverse cosine of 15 over 21. So you put that in your calculator, and then you get 44.415. So rounded to the nearest degree is 44. Okay. So it says find the length labeled W and the angle labeled X, round the length to the nearest degree and the angle measured to the nearest degree. So let's first find W like it suggests. So that is opposite in W is opposite in 10. So you want to look at like this triangle. So W is opposite and 10 is hypotenuse. So then that's sine. So sine of 50 equals opposite over hypotenuse. So sine of 50 is 0.766. And then you want to write that over 1. You cross multiply. Then you get W equals 10 times 0.766. So then W equals 7.660. So then it's going to be like one of these. So we can like cross those out, right? And then now you want to look at this triangle, and that's also opposite in hypotenuse. So you sine of x equals opposite, which is 7.66 over 11. So you want to do inverse sine. X will equal inverse sine of 7.660 over 11. And then you want to do that on your calculator. And you'll get 44.139. So that's rounds to 44 degrees. So the answer is A. Okay, and then it says find the lengths labeled W the next. So then round lengths the segments the nearest tenth. So first you want to focus on like this triangle. And that's opposite adjacent, so you want to use tan. So tan of 42 equals 12 over W. And then you want to do tan of 42 in your calculator. And that's 0.900. And then you want to write that over 1. Okay, and then now you cross multiply. So then that's 0.9, and W equals 12. So W equals 12 over 0.9. So 12 divided by your answer, and you get 13.327, which rounds to 13.3. So you know it's like one of those two and not those. And then now you want to focus on the other triangle. So this triangle. And then let's label this big length y, and then we'll subtract later to find x. So this is also tangent. So tangent 27 equals opposite over adjacent. So tangent of 27 equals 0.509. And then you want to write that over 1. And then you cross multiply, and you get 0.509 y equals 12. So then y equals 12 divided by 0.509. So y equals 23.551. And then you want to get x by doing 23.551 minus w. So what you got for w, then you should get something around 10, right? So that's 10.223. So then your answer is A. Okay, last problem. So it says a large totem pole in the state of Washington is 100 feet tall. At a particular time of day, the totem pole casts a 249 long shadow. Find the measure of elevation from the tip of the shadow to the top of the totem pole. Okay, so here's our totem pole. And then here is a shadow. And then it says find the measure of elevation. So like this angle here. Hold on. So what's this angle here. So it says the totem pole is 100 feet, so we'll mark that. And the shadow is 249. So then that's tangent, because the totem pole is opposite and the shadow is adjacent. So tangent of theta equals opposite over adjacent. So then you want to use inverse tangent. So you do that in your calculator. And you got 21.880. So round to the nearest degree is 22 degrees. Okay. Thanks for watching.